So today we're going to talk about productivity, but not just how to do more, perspective on productivity. And I want to start with this really big idea of you are not your to-do list. Like, yes, you want to get stuff done. You've got some big goals in your life. You've got things that you feel like you need to do to keep the ball rolling. However, you are bigger and more whole and more wonderful than just your to-do list. So yeah, we're going to talk strategies about how to be productive, but also how to keep it in perspective in a culture and society that tells us that we need to be doing something all the time. So I hope you are ready. Get yourself comfortable, get your journal out. Here are my 7 big ideas as to how to manage productivity in your life. First one, plan and prioritize. Now, some of us are really good at this, and others might be thinking, yeah, this is a bit of a struggle for me. And what I'd say to you is that you can learn this skill. It's not that someone is born how to plan and prioritize. So for instance, I'd say I'm now pretty good at planning and prioritizing, but that's come as a survival mechanism for trying to do a full-time chemistry teaching job along with managing and building my own business. So it's a skill that I've had to learn. You can skill up at this, people. So plan your day and then prioritize. So a lot of things that we do are not actually that important. And I want you to put it in perspective, like ask yourself the question, what is going to be significantly negatively impacted by my choosing to not do this? And if the answer is, yeah, not very much, then don't do it. Get it off the list. Some of these things might be nice to do. Yeah, granted, it might be nice that you spend an extra half an hour prepping a certain meal or reading a certain book, but are they actually needle movers? So by prioritizing what is going to make the biggest difference in putting you towards your goals. So yeah, if your goal is healthy eating, then maybe the time spent prepping that meal is a needle mover and is higher priority. If your goal is to shift things in your business, then maybe the time meal prepping would be better spent elsewhere, and so on and so forth. So plan and prioritize. That is going to look different for each individual, and as I said, you can learn it. Number 2, write this down, take breaks. Take breaks. And I have been very guilty at this in the past, definitely, because I think we have this false idea that we can just power through. Oh, I've had a bit of a slump, it's not really coming easily, I'll just keep going, and we eventually get the task done. But that's not the way to be more productive. Remember, I'm not, with this kind of talk and this chat, I'm not trying to get you to fill every second of your day with stuff. Okay, we want to make the best use of our time as possible, most effectively, so that we have time to rest and relax and recharge. So I say to you, take breaks every 45 to 50 minutes. Literally set a timer, and then at the end of that time, get up, move, shake it off, switch the activity, go take a break, and then come back to it. Even if you feel like you don't need it. This is key and crucial for managing your energy throughout the day. Take breaks every 45 to 50 minutes. I have an egg timer that I love. I love watching the sand trickle through. That's quite therapeutic as a little trigger for me to take that break. Okay, big idea number 3. Assess at the end of the day. Remember, this is kind of linked into point number 1, and this is a learned skill. So if you wrote yourself a big to-do list and then didn't really get any of it done, even though you'd sort of prioritized and things like that, then maybe that method needs looking at the end of the day. What could you do differently tomorrow to make that day win better for you? Were you being realistic? There is nothing worse than writing a list, feeling positive that you've written a list, and then not keeping any of those promises to yourself. That's only going to negatively impact your confidence. So take a moment at the end of the day. Did your plan actually work? Did you have a plan? Was it realistic? Did it help you build confidence? Did it help you build momentum? And if it didn't, try something different tomorrow. Okay, I hope you're loving this. Remember to head down, click subscribe, so that you can stay in contact with me when I post some new stuff. And if you head to the link in the comments in the little description section, you can subscribe there, and I will send you some free stuff how to get started with improving your life and stepping into your full picture of health. Okay, I've got some good stuff coming up for you next. So this is number 4. Get rid of distraction. Now that might sound simple, but literally it adds hours on, and things that we don't think are distracting actually are. So for instance, we're typing away, we're working away, and our mobile phone is there. Maybe it's even in airplane mode, maybe it's switched off. But the very fact that it's there is lighting up some brain cells, and that energy is diverted towards that mobile phone that's sitting there. So we need to get rid of that. You need to deep dive and make best use of that time. Get rid of social media. Get rid of your phone. Put it in a different room or another part of the house or in the car. Get rid of emails, pinging. Emails, I think, is a really big one for some people. I would say, deal with your emails at a certain point of the day. You don't need to be responding and keeping up to date with them within seconds that they come in, because all that's doing is distracting you from your needle moving tasks. Responding to an email is probably not going to change your life and get you towards that big goal of yours. Maybe some of them are, but generally not. They're a bit of a distraction. So get rid of those. When you are working out, you're working out. When you are working, whatever that looks like for you, that is what you are doing. When you are spending time with your family, that is what you are doing. Avoid those distractions. We're really bad at multitasking. Everyone is, and we think that we're good at it. We think that we can cope with doing this and this and this and this. In reality, our brain's just doing a bad job at it all because it can't cope with all of these different lines of thoughts. So get rid of them, okay? Focus on one thing at a time. What are we on? Number 5, batch your work. So I want you to move away from to-do lists. To-do lists can be really bitty, and again, they can feed into distraction. We're doing this, and then we're doing this, and then we're doing this. And our brain's trying to go from rational and logical to creative to caring to these different skills, which, to be honest, are quite hard to navigate and stressful here and here and here in your belly, okay? So your body will find that transition difficult. So I suggest batching your work. So for instance, for social media creation, I'll spend a day on it. I'll shoot all my videos in one go. I'll do all my meal prep in one go. Shift to batching your week, and it makes the transitions much easier for your brain. Because at the end of the day, we don't really want to feel stressed and exhausted and overwhelmed all the time, do we? Who's been there? And it so can feel like that, can't it, when your day is go, 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 and we've transitioned from being at home to being at work to our exercise, back to our families, and our brain's still thinking about the last activity because there's not that space for it to transition. So batch. Think about, these are my needle movers. These are the meal prep, the working out, the making sales calls, whatever it is, and then allocate a day, a week even, for that process. Next one kind of links into this. Don't multitask. Our brain is bad at it. One thing at a time, people. I'll say it again because it's that important. One thing at a time. And then finally, back to the first point, full circle. You are not your to-do list. And productivity in our lives is about balance. So if you don't take that downtime, if you don't take that R&R, if you don't take the time away from your screen, then you shouldn't be surprised if you are stressed and overwhelmed and anxious. How bizarre. So productivity has to be balanced with deep rest, step away from the emails. And it means when you come back to them during your batched email time, then your brain can cope with that. But it's one of the key things from our society. We're told work, hustle, be productive, do. When in actual fact, that is at the cost of our health, our well-being, and our productivity. Like, studies have shown that countries and workplaces that work with, say, like a 3-day weekend and a 4-day work week, their productivity improves. It actually improves by spending less time on it. So rest and relaxation, step away so you can rejuvenate your energy and then feed that energy into other parts of your life. I have loved being here with you today. Make sure that you hit subscribe, head over to the next video, and let's keep learning together.